Hey guys, Delta here, and even though this is probably going to spark a flame war, console fanboy war in the comments section, I decided to compare the PlayStation 4 to the Xbox One, share my thoughts, and I guess my rationale to why I made the decision I did. And for the most part, the two consoles are evenly matched. I will say that much, though most developers are saying that the PlayStation 4 is between 30 and 50% more powerful, is the number I've seen. But besides that, the architecture is almost identical, and there was all sorts of talk about how the PS3 was so much more powerful than the Xbox, but games were developed for the lowest common denominator, I guess. They were, for the most part, developed for the 360 and then ported over. Things changed towards the end of the generation, and the architecture of the consoles may actually change that, because they're both just about identical, and they're basically PCs. That is what these new consoles are. They are, pre-made PCs that are available for, a relatively cheap cost. So it comes down to three things in my mind, and the first of those is the price. The PS4 is $100 cheaper if you're buying at launch. Things will change down the road. They will likely end up being the same price. Same thing happened with the 360 and PS3. So the PlayStation 4 is $100 cheaper, and PlayStation Plus, the online service, is, to my knowledge, it is still $10 cheaper if you buy a year. So it's $50 versus $60. Of course, I know many people go out and they buy Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus cards when they go on sale and they stock up, and then they're paying less. But we're just talking standard retail price here, okay? So overall, the PlayStation 4 is a cheaper option, which for a lot of people like me, who I'm 19, I work part-time, I don't have a ton of money, $100 is a big difference. Online services is the next big thing. This is PlayStation Plus versus Xbox Live. I've done a video talking about the two, comparing the two, and why I think PlayStation Plus is a better service. And I really thought that Xbox Live should become a free service to match the PlayStation Network. But of course, now we know, for the PlayStation 4, only the PlayStation 4, you will need a PlayStation Plus subscription to play online. Everything else, however, stays exactly the way it was. And that's really the major difference, I think. All your other applications like Netflix, you have to pay for an Xbox Live Gold subscription to use those on Xbox. It is behind the paywall. Whereas on PlayStation, if you just want to play single-player games and watch Netflix, you don't need PlayStation Plus. Netflix, NFL, MLB, NHL, like the Game Center-style apps, these are not behind the paywall. In addition to that, there are a lot of online games. The free-to-play games, like, I believe, Warframe, Blacklight, I think DC Universe Online. These games, you don't need PlayStation Plus to play them online. So I think that's a huge bonus, and of course, right now there's a lot more free stuff and giveaways on the PlayStation Network. The Instant Game Collection has been a huge hit. It is such a draw. Like, you could buy a PS3 and a Vita and get a PlayStation Plus subscription, and just through the games that you get through that subscription every month, you would never need to buy a game, because there is constantly quality stuff getting added to there. Granted, Europe seems to be getting a lot more better stuff than North America, and that kind of sucks. But still, there's lots of free games. Starting at E3, Microsoft introduced something similar called Games with Gold, and that is 2 games a month. But as far as I know, it is ending with 2013, so the last games will come out in December, and I don't know if they just meant the last games for 360 will be in December, and then they're going to transition over to Xbox One. I haven't heard anything about it being on Xbox One, so that is, it's 6 months versus 6 months. Sure, you get to keep the games all the time, but the Instant Game Collection is not going away for PlayStation. That's the biggest draw to PlayStation Plus. It's not going away anytime soon. We already know a bunch of the games that are going to be coming out early for the PlayStation 4. Outlast, Resogun are 2 games among that. Drive Club PS Plus Edition. So that's a big draw. But of course, Xbox Live is generally regarded as the more stable service in terms of online gaming and servers. While that hasn't been the case for myself a lot of the time, it remains to be seen how the now required PlayStation Plus and the increased profit for Sony will help out in terms of stability. And that's something they've talked about, is the big thing it's going to allow them to do is put more money into the PlayStation Network, get better servers, etc., etc. But, of course, it remains to be seen how that will play out. So right now, I'd say Xbox Live still has... it has the advantage in the online gameplay regard, but I think in terms of the extras, you got to give it to PlayStation Plus. Xbox Live just has not caught up in that regard. So I think it's pretty evenly matched there. So right now, I'll say it's 2-1 PS4. Then it comes down to the games. That is the last thing here. It's the games, and that is all personal preference. For me, Killzone, Infamous, Resogun, those are games that top my list for the next generation, games that I'm interested in, that I'm excited for. The only thing on Xbox that's caught my attention is Titanfall, and you know what? That's coming to PC, and most people think it's coming to PS4 as well. So I've just upgraded my PC. I'm getting a PS4. I could play it on either one of those. PlayStation is generally regarded for having more diversity in its exclusive titles, which is something that appeals to me. Xbox is generally regarded as a shooter box, the home of Halo, of Call of Duty, of Gears of War. And that diversity and the influx of indie support that the PS4 has got, that the Xbox One does not have yet, really appeals to me. So that is why, altogether, I give a final score of 3-1 to the PlayStation 4. It is why I have a PlayStation 4 on pre-order, why I'm buying a PlayStation 4, why I've upgraded my PC, and why I have no intention to buy an Xbox One. Not so much because the Xbox One is a bad console, but I don't like Microsoft's vision for it. Their games don't interest me, and I don't particularly like Xbox Live as a service. So yeah, there it is. Flame away. Let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed the video, found it maybe insightful if you didn't know some of these things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.